Hello, everyone. Welcome to the It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers virtual summit. I am your host, Trina Bolden Fields, and I'm super excited to be on with you today. I wanted to come on and just do a couple of introduction and a couple of announcements, just to help you get to where you need to be. If you are joining us live or if you're listening to the replay, or if you are a member who's bought into the VIP, I want to just connect with you and congratulate you and invite you to our process today. One of the things that I want to do is make sure that you know that you can register for this summit. By going to youareworthy.live /MBBB. I'll be talking with you about this summit, but I'll paste that here, because if you want to register to get access to the summit live or to get access to the replays via the VIP offer, you can do that. And so I'll just provide that information here so you can see it and be able to join us there. So, what we're doing is we're hosting the It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers virtual summit. And we are talking with our beautiful speakers who are joining us in an in person summit about ways you can move beyond barriers. And I'm super excited to be joined today with Catherine, who is a fabulous actor. She's a award-winning actor, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about her, and then I'll be inviting her up to join us. So I want to share with you that Catherine is an award-winning actress. She's been seen on Fox, BET, AMC, HGTV. She's been on Oxygen, TLC, many more shows, many more networks, and she's been recognized for her series regular role in the hit YouTube show Darman, that their content garnered over 40 billion views. She's a best-selling author of 5 books. She is a life coach and motivational speaker, creator of Faith-Based Confidence course, and the book You Are Worthy. So we so appreciate Catherine and love her journey and her story. And I'm super excited to be chatting with her today about her journey and her story. And I am excited for the work that she's been doing and moving forward in that. Catherine and I have been engaging and chatting quite a bit about the work that she's been presenting and showing up for. And so, what I want to do is invite Catherine to join us. She's a mom of two preemie boys, one with special needs, and her mission. She has a beautiful mission, which is to help believers see themselves the way that God does so that they can have the courage and confidence to go after their dreams. Well, let's welcome Catherine to the stage. Catherine, it is so good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This is a pleasure.
Such a pleasure to be with you. And I'm super excited to chat with you more about moving beyond barriers and also how people can see themselves as successful,
Mhm.
or in this work. And so I do want to start off by asking you a few questions because we've been talking about barriers and you've faced barriers in your journey. Are you okay sharing with us a barrier you've faced and how you've been able to move beyond it?
So many challenges in life we go through, but there seems to be kind of one common denominator, and that is how we see ourselves and how we see our situation, really what that perspective is. And, back to that old Henry Ford quote, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And in my journey as an actress in Hollywood, there were so many times I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I was worthy of it. I didn't think I had the skills. I didn't think I had the talent. I didn't think I had the looks. I wasn't thin enough. I wasn't young enough. Whatever it was. But it was really a perception thing more than it was what was actually stopping me. Because you can list all these things and all these reasons about why you're not making it, why you're not overcoming. But at the same time, you can find people that are succeeding and are doing the things that you want to do that have these things going against them. So, those things that we perceive are stopping us really aren't. It has more to do with our mindset and what we think is stopping us. Because I know for myself, sometimes I would be watching a TV show or something, and I would think, my gosh, where did they get this actor? This actor is not very good. And and I would think, how come I'm not booking the roles? I got better acting chops than this person. How did they get the role? And sometimes it really comes down to what you think about yourself, what you believe about yourself. So when I would go into an audition room and I would think, oh no, everybody in here, they look more talented, they look better than me, that I'm already from the get-go psyching myself out. So when I get into the audition room, I'm thinking, well, they're probably not going to pick me. So you got all this stuff going on in your mind, and that's what's causing the sabotage. If I went into the room confident, if I saw myself as successful, if I thought to myself, they are lucky that I showed up at this audition, I just came to save their whole production. I mean, that sounds pretty egotistical and presumptuous, but unless you walk into the room and exude that kind of confidence, people can pick up on the insecurities. They can pick, when you go into a room like, I don't know if they're going to like me, I don't know if I'm going to get it. I've been on the other end of the table, casting productions, and I've seen someone do a great job, a good job, a decent, adequate job, and afterwards they go, oh, they'll make some gesture like they don't like what they just did. And then I'm going, oh, maybe they didn't do, I thought they did okay, but they were not happy about, maybe they didn't do good. And you are telling people that you didn't do good. So we're projecting into the world how we see ourselves, and then others are picking up on that. And we don't realize that causes a lot of sabotage. And sometimes the only difference, since we're talking about the realm of acting, is the people you see on TV and the people you don't, is they believe they could do it and you don't necessarily think you can. Sometimes that's the only difference. It's not the talents, it's not the looks, it's do you think you can?
Do you think you can? It's do you think you can? And it's something that you share that because I want to drop this in here and like kind of tie this together because yesterday we also talked with Matthew Reynolds about this and he talked about I believe in me. We need to I believe in me. We talked about authenticity, right? And showing
Mm,
up as saying to yourself, I believe in me, but you talked about it's the mindset. What we think about ourselves is what is right and
mhm.
what we project out to the world and that's what people pick up on.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people well, I don't know how much people understand the aspect of that energy that is behind what you present, and that
Yeah.
energy is what people pick up on. How we see ourselves, how we view ourselves, what we think about is what we're exuding, what
Yeah,
we
I think it's Oprah that has some kind of a quote in her office that says something like, "You are responsible for the energy that you bring into the room."
Mhm.
So that's a big thing. What are you bringing in there? If you're bringing in lack and fear and insecurity and I'm not good enough, you're that's kind of you're projecting that onto other people.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. You're projecting that onto other people. And I want to just make sure we capture this. You are responsible for the energy you bring in the room.
Mhm.
So spot on. So thank you so much for sharing that with us because I think it's essential for people to really know that and really step into that and understand that because I think the other key thing is that we get to, if we're having energy that is not working for us, we get to shift it in the moment.
Yeah.
We get to shift that energy in at any moment in time. It doesn't stay constant. Like we have the opportunity to do that. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, and that we even have the power to do it. So many of my coaching clients, I see them get stuck in this emotion spiral, spiraling down into these awful emotions. And we all go through it. We've all had those times where we're like, oh my gosh, woe is me. And I had a day like that yesterday. I had all these things going wrong. And I was sitting on my couch, kind of feeling depressed, kind of crying, journaling. Oh, why does this have to be so hard? On all these negative thoughts. And then it hit me. I was like, you know what? Scripture says we're supposed to take every thought captive. And I was letting these thoughts pull me around back and forth. And I thought, you know what? I need to capture that thought. Why am I letting it run amok in my brain? And then I got through it quickly and I didn't stay in that funk. And then later that evening, I was coaching one of my clients and she had like a parallel thing and she was crying for a couple hours and she was feeling all out of sorts. And it occurred to me, I was telling her, you have to take every thought captive. And I asked her, I said, if someone broke into your house that you did not invite and they started causing chaos, turning everything upside down, destroying your stuff, would you just let them do it because they were already in? Or would you like call 911? Would you call the police and get them out? I said, we have to police our thoughts. We need to be the police. Call 911 on those thoughts, capture them, and get them out. Just because the thoughts enter doesn't mean we get to let them entertain us, destroy our world, turn us upside down, have us go down these depressing spirals. We have to police our thoughts, take every thought captive, take every thought captive. The scripture says to the obedience of Christ, you take it captive and you throw out what's not working for you. If it's causing you to go in this spiral that's against, if I let myself stay there, I wouldn't have got anything done. I wouldn't have worked on my goals. I wouldn't have worked on this. It would have taken me captive. And emotions are great servants, but they're terrible masters.
What a wonderful thing. Emotions are great servants because it serves us in the moment. But the mastery of those emotions, like if they are in control, they're not great at that. I think specifically if you're thinking about that spiral, right? If you're spiraling down or spiraling out, a lot of times that energy continues to pull you. Yet, what you mentioned that we have an opportunity, we can capture those thoughts and shift them and get them out. I talk with my clients a lot about recycling energy, right? Because we get to choose what that is for us. If we want to get them out, if we want to recycle them and make a bed of flowers, that's our right to do. That's our ability to do that. And I think when you learn the thing of capturing those thoughts and learning how you can use them to help you or propel you to the next moment, that's when you're stepping into the mastery of your emotions. Definitely. Yeah. So I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about this because we're talking about like the summit is it's time to move beyond barriers, and we've been talking about helping people do that. So what are some ways that that you've seen that people get into in their own way? If you can share a little bit about that.
Well, some ways they get into their own way. No, this isn't going to work out. No, I don't want to ask them. They're going to say no. I don't like how they're going to respond. Well, so we're automatically bringing the no onto the scene before we even let the person respond. Oh, that person's way too important. They're too famous. They would never come to my party, or they would never give me a book endorsement, or they would So we don't do the thing because we're so afraid that we're going to get the no, that we are the no automatically. So then we don't do the thing. So then it's an automatic no. You never gave them an opportunity to say yes. So I feel like one of the things we do is we create our own no, and we don't even try. And I feel like a lot of times the people that we think are so much bigger or so much more important, they're human. They want them. Sometimes they want to help. Yeah, sometimes you'll get no's, but you're going to get a no for every shot you don't take. So why not take the shot? Because you could get some of them.
So, like, we get in our way by creating our own no. And your thing is about switching that up and and creating a yes, really taking the shot, because we never know how that's going to pan out.
Yeah, I love I always quote, love believes the best. This is scripture. Love believes the best. So what does that mean to believe the best? If I'm in a situation, here's what a lot of us tend to do. We tend to start to think of all the scenarios of what could go wrong, what might go wrong, how it could not turn out good. We start to psych ourselves out, and then we get all paranoid and freaked out and have anxiety thinking about all these worst case scenarios. But love believes the best. So how about, let's say we don't know the future, we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know how something is going to turn out, but why not believe the best? Instead of sitting here making up scenarios of all the things that go wrong, how about we sit here and we make up scenarios of all the things that could go right? Oh, they might say yes. Oh, they might ask me to co-author a book with them. Oh, they might invite me to their house. Oh, they might want to do a business deal with me. Oh, this could pay off my house. Oh, and they're honestly, they both are ridiculous. The things that you think is so legit, thinking negatively, it's just as ridiculous maybe to think positively. But which one is going to get you in a better state? Which one is going to get you into a better frame of mind? Which one is going to give you hope and excitement? And then which one is going to make you feel miserable? Because we don't know the future, because we don't know how things are going to turn out, we're anything we think, we're guessing anyway. So why not go crazy guessing the most elaborate, beautiful, amazing thing that could happen, rather than thinking of the worst possible thing that could happen? Because you don't know either way, but thinking one way is going to drag you down into misery, and thinking the other way is going to give you excitement. It's going to give you hope. It's going to give you a pep in your step. When you're going to that meeting saying yes, not only are they going to say yes to me, they're going to give me more than I'm even asking for.
Mm-hmm.
That you enter the, talk about energy you enter the room with. When I was entering auditions, like, I'm never going to get this role, I suck, they don't like me, I should move back home, I need to lose 10 pounds. I was not, the energy I was bringing into the room compared to, they would be nuts not to hire me. That's a
And I'm just gonna pop in here because it seems that's a whole nother. So it just seems like, Catherine, you froze for a bit. So that's a
oh
whole nother with this energy. If you can go from there, that's a whole nother.
oh, it's a whole nother energy to
Yeah.
walk into the room thinking, I'm going to get this. They're going to sign me. They're going to give me more than I asked for. I'm going to get raises and promotions. I'm going to get this partnership deal. They're going to say yes. That's a different energy you bring into the room, as opposed to, they're probably not going to like me. They're going to think my presentation sucks. They're going to tell me I need to lose 10 pounds. They're going to do it. Because you don't, either way, you could never possibly know what's going to happen. But the energy you bring into the room where you're thinking of the best case scenario, as opposed to the energy you bring into the room where you're thinking the worst case scenario, those are two very different things. And sometimes people are going to pick up on automatically what you're projecting because of what you've been dwelling on. So what are you going to dwell on? Love believes the best. You got to start dwelling on the things that are good and lovely and praiseworthy and of good report and good case scenarios.
Mhm. And when you dwell on the things that are good, that's the way of shifting that energy, right? And I'm going to bring this into, because you talked about this, like you alluded to this a little bit, because, and I have people who may say, "Oh, that's positive optimism. Why are we so optimistic?" Or uh, positivity that is negative because it's so positive. Yet,
Oh yeah,
you know,
people talking about toxic positivity. I don't get that. I don't know. I'm not really on board with that.
yeah, people think that you can be so positive that it doesn't work for you, right? That it's not real and actionable and sustainable. That's
Well,
what you have some way of thinking. Some people think
yeah. I
that.
mean, when bad stuff happens, if my kid falls down and breaks his leg, I may not be saying, "Praise the Lord, isn't this awesome? A broken leg, yes." I don't think that's what we're talking about, right?
Right,
But
right.
we are talking about this too shall pass. This, something good could come out of this. It's like Did you ever hear that old Chinese proverb of the guy who had a son and he had a horse? I don't remember all the scenarios, but it was this Chinese farmer. He had a son, he had a horse, and at one point the horse ran away, and his friends came and says, "Oh, that's very bad luck, bad luck." And the farmer goes, "Good luck, bad luck. Who knows? We'll see." Later, the horse comes back with a bunch of mares, and now he's got all these horses. And his friend comes back, "Oh, that's very good luck, very good luck." And he's like, "Good luck, bad luck, I don't know, we'll see." And then later, his son is trying to train the horse, and the horse kicks him and breaks his leg. And his friend comes over, "Oh, your son has a broken leg, now he can't work, that's very bad luck." And the guy says, "Good luck, bad luck, we'll see." And then there's a war that's about to start, and the army comes by to recruit all the young eligible men, and they come to recruit his son, but oh, his son's got a broken leg, he can't join the army. So his friend comes over, "Oh, that's very good luck, your son has a broken leg." So this could go on and on and on. So we can't even automatically assume when something bad happens that it's even bad. I mean, for those of us who are believers, we read in Romans 8:28 that God works all things together for our good, for those who love him and who are called according to his purpose. So you got to trust that even if this situation stinks right now, there's a turnaround coming, and it's going to be better than what we could ask, think, or imagine.
I think that it's beautiful to keep in mind that there's a turnaround, to keep in mind that a certain situation isn't always constant. That's what
Yeah.
the point of it is that it's not always constant. But also the thing is that what other people say about you and your experience, what you're here to activate, what is good or what is not, is what it is, their opinion. Right? It's not what is actually for you in your life. It is what you believe and what you bring into it. That energy that you've been talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what are some things, if you could share with us, what are some things that people can do to shift from getting in their own way? You talked a little bit about take your shot, right? Up level your
Mm-hmm.
energy. Think about scenarios of things that could go right. Dwell on things that are good. Anything else that you think would be really helpful in shifting that energy? I think what you've mentioned, those three things are absolutely essential. Anything
Mm-hmm.
else you would like to share with the audience about shifting that?
I think really to dial it in is get your mouth right, get your confession right, get what's coming out of your mouth. It's one thing to think the good thoughts. It's another thing, what are you speaking? Like what you speak about, you bring about. You're thinking about it, you're speaking about it. It's like you can have positive thoughts and abundance thoughts, but if at the same time you're double minded and you're saying, "But I don't have enough for rent, but I'm abundant, I am abundant," you're thinking, "I'm abundant." And then the other side of your mouth is, "How are we going to make it this month?" Being double minded, I think, is also detrimental. And we fall into this trap of, "But I'm just being realistic, but this is just how, like this, I can't be positive. I can say I want abundance, but this, the where we have more months than we have money." It's being pulled in both directions. So that's something to be mindful of too, is what are you speaking and what are you dwelling on and what are you focusing on? So are we looking more at the problem than we are, how can we solve this problem? And focusing more on, not that I don't have enough, but what can I do to make up for this shortfall? I could sell this, I could design this, I could get the, start getting in problem solver mode rather than stuck of I don't have enough. And because what you focus on expands, we've all heard that before. But
Mhm.
when I was a gymnast, when I would be on the balance beam doing my cartwheels and back walkovers and whatever, the coach would never say, "Don't fall, don't fall," because he knows that would make you fall. Our
Right.
mind is not able to handle negatives. So it doesn't hear the don't part, it hears fall, fall.
Mhm.
So the coach would say, stick it, land it. And then
Yeah.
our mind would focus on sticking it, landing it, not falling, don't fall. It's like when there's precision race car drivers and they're teaching you how to be a precision race car driver. If you're
Mhm.
coming up around a bend and you're about to hit a light pole, the instructor will not say, watch out for the light pole, watch out for the light pole, because they know what you focus on is where you'll go. So
Right.
instead, he'll say, veer to the left, veer to the left, veer to the left. And then you're hearing veer to the, so you veer to the left. You don't
Right.
try to tell something or focus on something that you don't want, because that's what you're going to get. The more you're focused on your lack, your poverty, your inability, your problems, the more of that you're going to get.
Hmm. That is so good. Like, that is so good. That's so spot on. I love what you shared because the analogies you used about, when you're driving and you're working with the instructor, they're veering to the left. They're not saying watch out for the pole. And your coach, when they're talking about, they're saying stick it, land it. They're not saying don't fall. And it is the energy that you bring to the room. It's what you share and say to yourself that really matters. So how can you get into mind frame of being that coach for yourself, being that instructor for yourself, that focus on the thing that you need to do, right? Versus the
Mhm.
thing that you don't want, right? That's so
Mhm.
important. And I want to share this because I know that what you're sharing is so spot on, and this is a part of what you can step into. But you're going to have so much more to share at the You Are Worthy Summit that we're doing in person coming up.
You don't even know. Man, we're going to break through some barriers at this conference. This summit is going to be off the chain. There's going to be so many tools and techniques that people are going to walk away with from so many, experts in business and mindset and all different areas that I think people are going to leave there so empowered and have so many tools where, if they apply them, they won't be the same.
Mhm. Definitely. If they apply them, they won't be the same. It'll be something that's absolutely life changing for these tools. And you're going to be like doing this full workshop,
Mhm.
um, bringing people into a different aspect of seeing themselves successfully. Like some of the
Yeah.
things you talked about, you're going to help people work through that in
Yeah.
detail.
Yeah, we're going to break the toxic lenses off you of how you've been seeing yourself, your situation in the world, show you how to see yourself from the proper perspective so that really so you can become unstoppable, because the only difference between the haves and the have-nots is because they know they can. And
Right.
I want you to be a have.
How you can become unstoppable and become a have that
Mhm.
you are in that process,
Mhm.
and you are thinking and coaching yourself along the process. And so we do want to invite you all to the You Are Worthy Summit that's taking place in June. It's going to be June 28th through the 30th. And I'm going to share how you can register for that summit and join Catherine there for her workshop on See Yourself Successful. So you can go to https with the three W's, youareworthy.live/Catherine to get in on that summit. Catherine, do you want to share any more about that?
About like what I'll be speaking about there, or just the invitation for them to come, or
Yeah, yeah, either one. Anything else you wanted to share more? Because I wanted to check in that I didn't, that I give you what you wanted to share at that moment.
yeah. Well, it's going to be the cool thing is it's going to be hands on. It's not just going to be someone barking at you from the front of the stage. So it's going to
Yeah.
be hands on, interactive. You're going to not just hear someone talk about stuff, they're going to be giving you tools, techniques, or even asking yourself questions you have not asked yourself before, which will unlock things that you don't realize were areas you were locked up in, which is going to open you up to the freedom, the mindsets you need to get to those areas that you haven't been able to get to. And I love Myron Golden. He's a speaker. He says this quote. He says the only difference between where you are right now and where you want to be is a bit of information you don't yet know. And this is going to be full of information that's going to bless you and help you get your life, relationships, and career to the next level.
Definitely, definitely. We'll help you do that. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Catherine, for that. And I really appreciate you sharing. And I want to just let everybody know that you can join us at the in person event, the in person You Are Worthy Summit, by going to youareworthy.live/Catherine. Make sure you register and get your ticket to be in the room, because it's going to be life changing. We're going to be, and Janice says, love Myron too. Thank you, Janice, for that. We're going to be um, amongst speakers that are going to be doing this workshop to help you to really get to where you need to be. And I want to check in with the listening audience. Those of you who are on live, you can post any questions or comments in the chat, and we will see them here if you're posting them via Facebook. I'm also making sure that I'm taking a look at them on LinkedIn. So if you have any thoughts or questions, you can let us know as well, and we will answer them. And I do want to check in with you, Catherine, because I know I chatted with you that I have a young daughter here. Do you want to, who wanted to come on and say hello? So those of you who are listening in, um, and my young one says she's not young, but according to where we are, she is. So this is my youngest, Annalise.
Hi.
Hi.
And so,
Hi,
do you have a
Annalise.
question you wanted to ask?
Um, no, I just wanted to say hi.
Hi. What a pleasure to meet you.
It's just a pleasure to meet you as well.
Awesome. And so we are super excited, you all, for the summit, and having Catherine join us there, and Annalise wanted to come on and say hello. The work that, I think this is the other thing, because what you're exuding, and this is an example of that, of when you step into your power, when you step into your purpose, when you see yourself successful, right? You impact other people's lives. And I have one here who's impacted by the work that you do, Catherine. And I know that there are many others that are impacted by that. And we have the opportunity to claim our worth, to step into that power
Mhm.
and share that impact with other people, to make the ripple effect that we're here to make.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Janice, thank you so much for your comment. Janice shared she's beautiful. Thank you so much, Janice. This is a lovely one. And I just so appreciate the energy that we get to share. And that's another thing with what I'm doing, to be able to share this experience with my family. And we all get to do that when we step into our power, when we see ourselves successful, when we
Yeah.
activate our gifts and talents and what we're here to do.
Yes. Awesome. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Annalise, for joining us. And those of you who are tuning in, we want to make sure that you know that you can go and join us at the summit and be there, because it's going to be life changing for you, for what you're here to build, for what you're here to share. We're going to be doing some transformational, deep work. And so thank you so much, Catherine. We will see you at the summit, and everybody who's tuning in, we want you to join us there. And I'm going to talk with you all coming up about how you can step into um, understanding and knowing what your values are, right? And get to the deep aspect of that. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing next. I want to say thank you so much, Catherine, for being here. And those of you who have questions, you can post them in the chat if you're here, and we'll come back and take a look at those questions and go from there. So thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. We'll see you guys in June.
See
Bye.
you then. And I want to say, you all, Catherine is so dynamic. The message that she is bringing is going to help you transform your life. Yes, that is what we're doing at the summit in June. June 28th through the 30th. We want to invite you to join us at the summit. And I want to talk with you a little bit about the summit. And know that you can go to what I have here. Remember, you will have to use the HTTPS and colon and the 2 slashes to make sure you get to that summit. And you can go to, with the 3 W's, youareworthy.live/Catherine to join us there. Now, I want to talk with you a little bit about the summit, because it is an absolutely a beautiful time for you to be able to claim your worth, for you to be able to step into a bolder version of yourself, for you to be able to calm the inner critic. What Catherine and I just talked about now, those things that come to mind, those words that you say to yourself, to shift what you're thinking, to shift what you're saying to yourself, so that you can move into that aspect of understanding that you are here for a purpose, to be on purpose, to activate the work that you're here to activate and make the impact that you're here to make. We're here to work with change makers, to work with trailblazers, to work with visionary leaders, to help you step into your worth and what you're here to bring, what you're here to do. And we're hosting this summit because I've talked to so many people who are brilliant at what they do, but they've had this inner chatter that has been holding them back. And we started this You Are Worthy and Summit in 2021. And we've impacted hundreds of people, hundreds of lives with the summit that we've had over the past 2 years. And we put it together so that we can help people work through what has been holding them back to really claim their worth, so that they can create their innermost desires. Why? Because we are all worthy of feeling and being fulfilled. We are all worthy of activating our vision, of activating our worthy dreams, and stepping closer to what we're here to build and create, and doing just that in our time while we're here today. Because we are here to live fulfilled lives and to do that with joy, to step into that. And so we want to help you to step into and understand what your deeper truth is, to really know that you're worthy, make the transformation that you're here to make, and create aligned action to bring your biggest dreams into reality. So we have 3 full days for the You Are Worthy Summit. It's going to be going from June 28th through the 30th. To help you with this transformation in life and in business, and to help you take action. We'll help you create action steps. And I've invited top experts in the personal development space to join me. So you can go to You Are Worthy. I'm going to put that link back up that I just had. But you can go to youareworthy.live/Catherine to learn more about the summit. It's going to be 3 days with top experts in the personal development space. They're going to listen to you and guide you on your journey towards self-actualization, towards fulfillment, right? And we're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you decide to grab the VIP pass that comes along with the summit, you get to come a day earlier. You get to come on June 27th and have a day that's going to be carved out just for your VIP experience, to help you step into the work that you're here to step into. This event was created for you to provide space to claim your worth. We've provided space for you to do that at this summit, to be able to process your journey, what you've been through, to rediscover you, to discover your truth, to discover your purpose, your value, and take action so that you can create the impact that you're here to create. We know that in this time, it is it's a time that's calling each and every one of us to honor who we are and to step into our power, to step into what we're here to do, because we are worthy. And so we're going to help you manifest your deepest desires at this summit. And so we're going to invite you to join us at the summit, and you can do that by clicking and joining us via the link that's provided on the screen. And I want to share with you what a few people have shared with us about the summits that we do, this You Are Worthy Summit. People who've attended in the past have said, I'm grateful for the opportunity that was afforded to me. Crystal said this, said the time is important. And once it's gone, that this summit was well spent on my personal development. We had Crystal share that with us, that this summit was such an amazing summit that brought them to having the time that they wanted to have at this summit, right? And then we had Giselle says, this summit was transformational. It was packed with nuggets. And she said, I can't wait for the next event. Trina, you knocked it out of the park. This was Giselle's experience being the summit, having a transformation. And that's what we're doing at the summit. We are going to be packing it in with beautiful like nuggets, but giving you time to process it, right? So you can get to your transformation. It will be a transformational experience. It's going to level up and help you to activate what you're here to activate, and move forward in what you're here to share in the world. And as Kim shared, that the summit was just what I needed to recommit to my goals. The wide variety of speakers were able to address numerous areas of my life. The summit provided solutions for the whole individual. Okay, so we're going to be working with you as a whole individual, helping you to get to your transformation, to recommit to your goals, to know that you are worthy and step further into that. So we want to invite you to join us at this summit. So you can do that by going to youareworthy.live. And I shared uh, Catherine's link, which is youareworthy.live /register. And I'm going to share this one / Catherine. I'm going to share this with you too, if it's going to be easier for you to grab this, because you can register and join us at the You Are Worthy Summit. youareworthy.live /register. You will need the HTTPS with the colon and the 2 slashes in front of that, to join us at the summit. Now, I want to talk to you about really understanding and walking in your values, because and honoring what's important to you. And at the summit, we'll go deeper into this process. But a lot of people who I work with, we talk about what is important to you, because that is one of the steps along your journey to cultivating your great work and sharing it with the world and moving beyond barriers, right? Of honoring who you are and honoring what's important to you. I think a lot of times we say yes. I'm going to talk to those people pleasers in the room. We say yes to things because we want to be seen in a good light, or we want to be seen as helpful, or we want other people to approve or to like what we're doing or who we are. And the thing about it is that it's important to think about how are you honoring what's important to you versus always trying to honor what's important to somebody else. Because when you are honoring what's important to you, you strengthen your ability to show up for other people. When you are doing more of the things to honor what other people need or what other people want or what other people like, it's like you're putting yourself on the back burner, and then you start to feel less than, you start to lose confidence, you start to not have the energy to fully show up and activate in the ways that you're here to activate. And we want to help you shift that. Yes, definitely at the You Are Worthy Summit, but also by taking the things that I'm going to share with you now and putting them into action, to really take a look at what is important to you. What do you value? When you are out and enjoying your time, with someone or an activity, what is it about that time that's so enjoyable for you, right? And when you start to like journal that out, you'll start to see things that are around you that you're enjoying it. It may be that you are within community. It may be that you got celebrated. It may be that you got recognized in a moment. It may be that you were able to be creative. It may be that you were able to step into your freedom or have autonomy. When you start to see those about a process, those are things that you value, right? When you think about it, you can grasp onto those words, those feelings of and what you were being or having, or the experience you were having in the moment. And then you understand and see that that was important to you. And what I do is I have my clients go through a process of discovering what that was by thinking about the moments where things were as good as it got. What were you experiencing? Who was around you? What was happening in the moment? Oh, I was being creative. I was making jewelry, or I was writing. I was creating my film. Then you know that creativity is something that is important to you. Yeah, as an example. And then the opposite way, there's another way where you can figure out what's important to you when maybe you feel like you've been rubbed up against sandpaper and things were not as going as great as what they should be. And you may think, oh, I should have done this. Oh, I should have included that. When you think about what you're thinking about, you should have done or included, that may be what is of value, right? I shouldn't have let anybody talk to me that way. That lets you know that respect is something that you value, right? And so you can grasp those things and really understand and begin to honor that value, what's important to you in your own life. I recommend that you journal about it. And what you can do too, I provide a list, and I'll be providing a list of values at the You Are Worthy Summit that you can take a look at and see and know what your values are, and like name your top five, right? Create your top one or your top three and begin to honor those values in your life. And when you find yourself doing more of that honoring, you find that your confidence is boosted. You start to grow and feel good about what you're activating, feel good about yourself, feel good about how you're showing up, and what you're putting out into the world. And that's our opportunity. That really is our opportunity to be more of who we are, to honor to honor ourselves, right? And I think that's so essential when we're doing that. And so I want to share this with you because I'm sharing this with you because it's important. It's important that we honor who we are, that we honor our values, and we step closer into that. So I want you to answer the question, right? And I'm going to put this here in our um, in our in the here we go here so you can see it. To answer the question, what is important to you, right? You can use the examples of like discovery of what I explained here earlier. What's important to you, okay, for you to journal about that. And this next question, um, how are you honoring this in your life, right? What is important to you for you to take a moment? You can do that now where you get a piece of paper and a pen and you write it down. What is important to you, to really think about that? And if you need more time, maybe set a timer for maybe later this evening or tomorrow where you really think about what's important to you, or you think about an experience you had and that you everything was as good as it got, and what was happening around you, okay? And then how are you honoring this in your life? Okay, how are you honoring this in your life? And if you're like, I'm not honoring my values, there's something that needs to be shifted in your moment so you can get to that confidence, so you can get to honoring you, honoring what's important to you, honoring your life, right? Because we have to fill ourselves up, to be able to help other people in ways I think that are energetically pleasing and uplifting. We want to be able to give. We talk about this at the summit as well. Give from our overflow, versus like trying to give empty fumes. Nobody is going anywhere on fumes, right? But if we're giving from a place of being filled up, we can go further together, right? We can go farther together in that aspect of things. So, one, what is important to you? Two, how are you honoring this in your life? Um, and um, the next thing is, what will you do this week to honor your values? And I'm going to put this here. What will you do this week to honor your values? Okay. Or you can think about, what would you do tomorrow? What would you do to honor your values, right? Um, think about that. What will you do to honor your values? Okay. What will you do this week? What will you do today? What will you do tomorrow to honor your values? And journal about that. Choose, and if you have like multiple things that come up, it's important to choose one, right, that you can implement. I'm going to post that there. What will you do this week to honor your values? And choose one thing that you can implement. Okay. So journal about it. Choose something that you feel most connected to that brings you more energy. What will you do to honor your values? And what I would like to do now, if you had an aha moment from Catherine share or from my share, I would love for you to post it in the comments to let me know what stood out for you out of what we shared. If you were on for Catherine's, where she talked about how you can see yourself successful in her three ways, and also what I talked about your values and how you're honoring them in your life. What were your aha moments? What stood out for you? Would love to see that. I'm actually going to be checking the comments so you can see, so you can share that with me. As well. What are your aha moments? What stood out to you from our share? Would love to hear that. And I'm going to put here. Okay, very good. Let us know what were your ahas because I would love to hear. You can post it um, in the chat or in the comment section, I should say. Um, um, yes, from our share from the UR Summit. What were your aha moments? To let us know what that is. Okay, would love to see it. And then because I'm going to be engaging in the comment section, okay? So to talk with you all about that. So share that with us. And I do want to check and see if there is something that I can respond to that's coming up already. Any aha moments that you have to let us know, and I'll share that here in the space because it's really important for us to be to do this work, right? Do this work that we shared from seeing yourself successful, which Catherine talked about. Being responsible for the energy you bring into the room, which is a quote that Oprah has, to capture negative thoughts and get them out. How we get in our own way, right? We create our own no by not even activating, by not even trying. But what we can do to shift that is think about scenarios of all things, right, that could go right in a situation and to really take your shot, right? Try it anyway, right? Shift yourself from the no to the yes, to do it anyway, right? To do it because we will never know what could come out of something if we don't activate or take action. But if we do activate and take action, we have an opportunity to see a different result, okay? Dwell on the things that are good, Catherine talked about. And so it's really important to stay in that. And so what I shared as well, and I'll be talking about the You Are Worthy Summit and inviting you to it, but I shared about the You Are Worthy Summit, but I talked about values and how it's so important to honor your values and who you are because it boosts your confidence. It fills you up to where you can begin to start doing that work from your overflow or sharing from your overflow versus running on fumes. It is like we're out of the time of doing and being everything for somebody else, right, where we're feeling empty. It's time for us to fill our cup so that we can give from our overflow. So what is important to you and how are you honoring your values in your life? Okay, and what are you going to do this week to honor your values, right? So those are the things that we talked about in our sessions just now for the It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers Summit, because this is an opportunity for you to step into that, right? And to also make sure you post in the chat or in the comment section what your aha moments are. And I want to take a little bit of time to share with you about the You Are Worthy Summit because we're going to be going deeper into what we're sharing with you at the It's Time to Move Beyond Barrier Summit. We're hosting an in-person summit in June in Atlanta, June 28th through the 30th. And you can go and join us at the summit, youareworthy.live/register, because what we're going to be doing is going deeper on the things I just talked to you about to give you a full out process that you can work through and activate in your process, in your life, to fully step into that. And we have 16 dynamic speakers in the personal development space. A few of them are going to be sitting on panels, but we're going to have 12 workshops, you all, that are going to help you go deeper on authenticity. We're going to help you go deeper on self-worth, help you go deeper on understanding what your values are, to seeing yourself successful, to stepping into a bolder version of yourself, to creating your beautiful vision, to understanding the power that you have within, to being able to activate that. And we're going to be working through this in space together at the You Are Worthy Summit. And we're going to have people who are going to support you through your process so that you can walk away with an understanding, a deeper understanding of the bigger impact that you're here to make, to be able to activate your inner desires, right? To stop the inner critic, those things that we've been saying to ourselves or you've been saying to you that no longer serves you. We're going to walk you through processes to be able to do that, and for you to know that you are worthy, right? And for you to know that you are here to make a bigger impact, to live a more fulfilled life, to stop that inner critic, right? And to step into the person you are here to be and become. So you can do that by going to youareworthy.live/register, and make sure you register for the summit. If you have any questions, you can reach out to my team, and I'm going to put our support here. If you have any questions about the summit, you can go to support@trinaboldenfields.com. That's support@trinaboldenfields.com. You can email my team there to join us there. But we want to invite you to the You Are Worthy Summit by having you go to youareworthy.live/register to get in the room and to be there. Okay. It's going to be a dynamic time. We're going to be activating. We're going to be supporting you, helping you work through. Now, I've shared this summit. I'll bring it up again for you to see. The youareworthy.live/register to be in the room. We're also going to have coaching on site. So if you have a process that you know you need to activate through, we'll have support there for you. Okay. We're going to have just a beautiful opportunity. And once you go here to register, you'll be prompted and given an opportunity to join us for VIP. Okay. So if you want to join us for VIP, you get to come a day earlier, where we're going to help you to really map out your plan for being a part of the whole process and how you can get through to creating your inner desires, your great work, and sharing that with the world to make an impact. But the biggest thing that we're going to do is we're going to help you do that internal work first. We're going to help you to claim your worth. We're going to help you to step into the person that you're here to be. And a number of times when I've been working with my clients through this process, they've been able to create more than they've ever imagined. Right? They've been able to activate more than they've ever imagined and step into a bigger version of themselves. And that's the work that we'll be doing at the summit. So I'm inviting you to join us at the You Are Worthy Summit by going to youareworthy.live/register and making sure that you are there and in the room. Okay, so I want to say thank you all for being here, for joining us. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a little bit of a break. And I know that we are here. We're going to take just a tiny bit of a break, but we'll be coming back on. I'm double checking because we're going to be doing another interview with another speaker where we're going to be talking about mindset and moving beyond where you are and and what you're thinking and how that shows up, and what that can look like for you. And within this, because what Catherine shared earlier is mindset is like the biggest thing that holds us back, right? And that's the work that needs to happen. That's the work that needs to happen for us to be able to step into what we need to act activate, to step into the bigger work that we're here to be, is to work on that mindset. So that we'll be giving you some tools during the summit that's going to be able to help you with that mindset and with the work that you need to do around that. And I want to share this as well because some of my clients have asked me about how do I create the habits, like the action steps to get to where I am, or what worked for me to get to where I am today. And it is about the mindset work, what you believe about you, what you're here to activate, but also what are you activating based on that belief. And so you do have to start with I believe in me, as Matthew talked about, as Catherine talked about today. Matthew talked about that yesterday. You do have to believe in you. And then you have to align your actions with that belief, which your actions are going to be an output, a direct representation of what you believe. What we do, how we show up, is basically what we're thinking. And I know Catherine shared this earlier as well. It's that energy that you exude or put off that's really, really about what you believe. That's what we're really sharing with those. And there's so many people in the world who are energy people, right? Who can feel and sense and engage with energy. We do it. If there's something that doesn't feel right to you, you pay attention to that. And so it's important to cultivate the energy in your own process, and move forward in ways that activate who you are and what you're here to bring, and to do that in a way where you're activating a mindset that is going to move you forward, that is going to propel you forward versus keeping you stuck or held back. And so we're doing this summit. We're doing the It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers Summit to help you move forward. And I do want to invite you to the It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers Summit. I do want to share this with you that we will have the replays available for the It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers Summit. And so if you have not registered for the It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers Summit, I want you to register for the summit, and you can do that. And I'll share that link for you to register, because we do have a VIP with this summit where you can get the lifetime recordings, access to them for their lifetime, because the what we're putting in on social media, those will be coming down at some point. But if you want lifetime access, you can go here and register and get access and grab us for VIP. You can join VIP for $47, which gives you an opportunity to join me at 7:30 every evening for hot seat coaching on what you may be going through, what you may need more support in. It also gives you an opportunity to get lifetime access to the recordings and to get our workbook, right? So you can come back and watch the replays and work through what we've been talking about via the workbook that we have, and writing down what your aha moments are. Okay. And so this is the work that you get to step into, and we want to invite you to join us. You can get the replays for the You Are Worthy the replays for this Time to Move Beyond Barriers Summit, which we're hosting now, by going to this link, youareworthy.live/MBB. But what you need to do is make sure you have the HTTPS with the colon and the forward slashes in front of that. And I shared with you about the You Are Worthy Summit, so that you can register and join us there at the youareworthy.live/register, and to be a part of that process. Okay. And so now what I want to do is I want to bring us to getting ready for our next speaker. I'm going to take a moment to introduce our next speaker, and I'm super excited about inviting our next speaker to the stage in just a moment. So I'm going to move on to do that. And I'm super excited about speaking with our speaker about, here we go. Yes. Okay. So I'm so excited to speak with Arthur Rutledge, who's a mindset coach. And Arthur is joining us tonight to talk a bit with us about mindset. okay, and how to move into um, activating your mindset in a way that supports your goals and what you're here to do. And Arthur is an entrepreneur. He's a leadership and mindset coach. He's also a native of Detroit, and he resides in New York City now, but he's been certified as a John C. Maxwell coach, and he's done a number of speaking opportunities, have coached many people, and his mission is to support people on a day-to-day basis to reach higher levels so that they can activate their purpose, to build their emotional intelligence and conquer life's obstacles. We've been here talking about ways you can move beyond barriers, and I know that Arthur has some beautiful things to share. And Arthur is also the co-founder of People's Pride Shoes. He's a designer, um, or he and designer CEO Carl Hansen have put together this business, and they have this footwear collection where their mantra is to take pride in what you wear. And so Arthur is a host of an IGTV discussion. He talks about how to manifest your dreams. And so we want to say welcome, Arthur. Welcome to the It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers Virtual Summit. So good to see you. I wanted to check in with you. Are you able to speak and to share? Are you here?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
There
Welcome.
you are.
Welcome. It is so good to see you.
I am happy to be here. Had a little technical difficulty. My first time on this particular type of chat in
Oh,
this space.
you,
So I had to
beautiful.
download Firefox. I don't know. That's an old school one. I know it's been around for a while. I used to have it, and for some reason, the iOSs don't carry it that well. But we're here, and I'm happy to
Here.
be here.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And so I'm excited to talk with you about mindset because we Catherine was just on before earlier and talked about mindset is the number one thing, like it's really important. So I want to hear from you. Why is mindset important? Um, if you could share a bit about that.
Yeah, mindset is everything that we do. It's the appropriation of all of our priorities put into one space as we build awareness around who we are, what we're doing, where we're going, what we're going to accomplish, even to the places where we don't accomplish things. It sheds light on what direction any of us can go or want a course change to make sure that we are doing the things that make us most fulfilled. Mindset is the core of our inner thinkings and doings to make sure that we are where we say we want to be and making sure that we feel whole and complete each and every day.
I love what you share. You said that it sets our direction for where we want to go, right? It's the core,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think that's spot on when we think about it a lot. That mindset really sets us on a trajectory of where we're going in life. It's
100%.
yeah.
Everything that comes into our conscious
Mhm.
space is either taken in, meaning accepted, overlooked, which means not taken seriously, or ignored, which means that it's a shutdown. We have a feeling of displacement or dissatisfaction or disappointment.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so the personal, or we call it self-help, but that's because we have to take the initiative, put the work in, and actually make sure that we are doing things that help us to truly can make ourselves expand, make our lives expand versus contract. And a lot of times we feel those disparities in life because life is contracted. We get in a place of horizontal thinking, the norm versus vertical thinking.
Mhm.
And so these new awarenesses that we can put in our daily space, that mindset that we always talk about, helps us to have a better attitude about
Mhm.
our situations in life, the things that we are responsible for, even if we don't take responsibility for them as much as we should. The accountability comes from that. The the saying the right things to ourselves. Using I
Mhm.
always talking to words and how they are so powerful and making sure that we are getting stronger instead of weaker from the things we say to ourselves. Socrates says the misuse of language induces evil in the soul.
Mm.
And so making sure that our soul is clean and making sure that we're able to prosper, we have to make sure the things we're saying, things that happen transitioning in life. 2020 knocked us all down like a fine group of Legos. The
Mhm.
people who bounced back faster had a better perspective
Yeah.
of what they got out of that and what they were able to accomplish through that. They looked to the optimistic toward less the and not the pessimistic side
Mhm.
of where their growth was. And so these are mindset things that again get practiced, and it's a preparation.
Mhm.
Preparation for what? Those things that happen that we just don't know, that can come out of nowhere at any time of day for the rest of our lives. And so even though we don't think we need to prepare for anything, we think life just is handed to us, is the reverse. We create, where it calls for what we put into our space, into our life each and every day. The other things can be just washed away. We don't have to worry about those, but having the mindset to understand our locus of control
Mhm.
is limited to how the thoughts that we keep in our minds and the inspirations that we keep in our hearts.
Yeah. You brought up a number of good points that brought me to thinking about, like we've talked about energy, we've talked about what we exude, we've talked about the attitude we have. And I want to give an example. I remember one time, I think my oldest one time was young at this time, and I got in trouble for one thing, like with mom for doing something. I was like, oh, don't, not to do that. You shouldn't do that. Don't do that. But they took an energy of don't do that. I'm going to share this into their day and started to have a tumble throughout their day and all. And at one point, they said, "Mom, my day is just not going great." But it was that response to not doing that caused that day to tumble so. And when I noticed that was happening, I sat down with them and helped them shift. We shifted out of that, and things got better. And I think that's a number of things that we can think about in our own ways, is that the mindset set our direction, and there are going to be things that may come up that we might not have a good mindset about,
Mhm.
yet we can shift them at any point. So I want to have you talk just a little bit about when those things come up, when we're having these barriers that are coming into our way. You talked about it's good to step into optimism, right? Because what we think about, and is really what we create, and we have this locus of control of being able to shift that. So how can people move beyond that moment when they may be stuck or in a barrier, or in a way of thinking that things just aren't working?
One thing to practice integrity with ourselves is to know that we are not wrong, and not to embrace being wrong or mistaken or misunderstood. We what people can put into their space every day is forgiveness. The practice of forgiveness, and we talked about this on Clubhouse the other day. Actually, the making sure that we are embracing ourselves completely, and not thinking of ourselves as fault beings, but people who are imperfectly perfect. Making sure that we keep the imperfect because it keeps us humble. It keeps us recognizing that even though we have these shortcomings or these things that we get to work on for ourselves, we always have the possibility of making sure that we rise to each occasion brilliantly, making sure that we understand our excellence. So the practice of forgiveness is the practice of remembering our excellence.
Mhm.
The next thing that I can say when it comes to the ideas that we have, not to be in a place where we're beating ourselves up and over analyzing these thoughts. Thoughts are things that is takes practice in controlling. Now, a lot of people are talking these days more into intelligence, emotional intelligence, the IE, that is the equalizer in any workplace or family experience or relationship or whatever that looks like. So understanding that that is a preparation, that is a practice in keeping our mind clear and calm at any and every situation. Now the thing is that we say it's very hard to do that or it's impossible to do that. Well, it might be rough, but it's definitely something that we can simplify, but just the practice of doing it each and every day. It gets easier as we go along, like anything that we've done. And how do I know that all of us can do it? We're right here. We're listening to this an hour later. We're making efforts. We're coming to the You Are Worthy Summit in Atlanta, Georgia, at the end of June. We are listening to the great books and the YouTubes and IG Into United, hosted by me. IG on IGs and things of that nature. We're tuning in, and I think more than we ever have, we are more aware. That 2020 made all of us a lot more aware to a lot of things that we were burying and sweeping under the rug, so to speak. But now we're right here. We're right in the mix of it. And again, like I said, we're showing up to what that looks like. And in the past, we got knocked down. We got back up. We fell down off of bikes. We made it through, most of our education process, if not all, and then some. And those had their own highs and lows. So all these things let us know that we're able to show up and make sure that we are practicing showing up for ourselves. So the practice of clearing our mind so we can focus our mind just takes that. They just put that inside of it. Harvard did a study about people who had Alzheimer's, and they found out Alzheimer's and dementia, which I lost a dear one to my grandmother 5, 6 years ago.
Sorry.
And the study says that the more that we clear our mind and we put more into what our learning prowess, the things that we are reading, the things that we are paying attention to, or extended functioning of focusing in on the thing that we say we want to do at least on a consistent basis, that purpose, that why, something that fires us up or makes us feel connected to our talents, gifts, or strengths. Those things help the mind stay with us a lot longer. It strengthens it strengthens and gives neuroplasticity in the subconscious and the cognitive understanding, the whole brain. It helps us to connect the wiring to make sure that we're staying attentive, that we're staying right there in front of the thing that we want. And it helps us to relate to people a lot better too. Dopamine shoots off a lot more, creating a chemical balance in our life where we're able to step into our lives and be victorious in whatever we put our mind to.
Definitely. And you're going to be talking more about mindset at the You Are Worthy Summit, which you mentioned. So we're super excited about the summit and
Me too.
you talking about mindset and how to shift it. in the workshop that you're giving. Did you want to share any more about that? But we're excited about this workshop and excited for the You Are Worthy Summit that's taking place June 28th through the 30th. And I'll be sharing with those who are on with us now how you can join us at the summit.
Yeah, we're going to we're going to do a deep dive. We're going to, with me and my program and the side of what I want to give is to make sure that we're moving forward confidently and with commitment. I have an upcoming book that is going to be, I'm going to be talking more about a little bit during the summit. How the results come from inner commitments.
Mhm.
And it really is making sure that we have enough self value and know the worth that we're able to exude by helping, giving value, being just not, we're not, knowing that we're not alone in where we're going, that we can pull on all these things because these things have strength. They have, the people that we're around are there to help us. We're there to encourage each other. And with that type of surrounding, with that type of community, that we can build at any given time. Right now, we're in a community right here. Communities don't need to be a slew of people. There doesn't need to be hundreds and hundreds of people that's right there. You know, you just need a mastermind group. Napoleon Hill talks about what that looks like in one of his 13 thoughts to think and grow rich.
Mhm.
And the mastermind really keeps us, let us know that our brain is not able, or our brain is capable of bringing in different ideas to cultivate ours, to cultivate what we want to empower, that cultivate who we're becoming. And again, the practice is essential. The goals that we set are around our practices, and the practices that we do every day multiply every day. And over the course of making sure that we change a little part of our lives bit by bit every day, over the course of 6 months to a year, we will have changed our trajectory of our next 10 years.
Yeah.
That means that every day after that year, that you do something daily, little by little,
Mhm.
will make the shift for you. Don't worry about the changing. Everybody always talks about changing our mind, or change, the change in people changing here and people and this and that, and it's scary, and getting out of our comfort zone, and blowing up our ego box, whatever. Don't worry about it. Don't make those things the practice. Make the doing daily, the practice, the true potential of where we're going. And if we focus on that little thing and not all the big things and the big words and and what that looks like, we're able to accomplish a lot more, a lot faster. It's really, again, about clearing and focusing, forgiving ourselves, being appreciative of where we're at and where we're going, and being willing to accept the highs and lows, no matter what those are, so we can touch that goal.
Definitely, definitely. And thank you so much for sharing it. And I know you're going to go deeper on this and helping people to
Oh, yeah.
identify what that is for them and walk that out and have a clear picture, and what that looks like and how they can implement it. So at the You Are Worthy Summit, Arthur will be going to deeper on how you can create the inner commitments that will produce your outer results. So you can join us by going to https and the colon and the double slash youareworthy.live/Arthur to get your summit ticket for the June 28th through the 30th in person You Are Worthy Summit that's taking place in Atlanta. So we want to invite you to join us there because it's going to be beautiful work. We're going to go deep on this process of mindset and shifting and cultivating a practice that will shift the trajectory of your life. We're so excited about that
It's
because that's
it's gonna be electrifying. We're gonna get up there, and I'm excited to be in there with you. And we got Rabia, another powerful speaker from TO, Toronto. So we got Canada in the house. It's going to be dynamic. It,
Yes.
you're right. And
Yeah.
Janice is coming on with you here tomorrow. So you want to tune into that. Janice Coleman, another power hitter. Both of us are John C. Maxwell certified, and we talk from our books, and she has her own book. She's going to tell you about what that looks like in the power she has, and just all these great people that's all about coming in to add value to you. You
Yes.
deserve it. You are worthy. Put it in that calendar. Make sure you don't scratch it out. Make sure you're right there, because we're going to tear it up in there. You're gonna come away, you're gonna feel really empowered. You're gonna feel great to go into your workplace, your relationship, your career. If you're pivoting, a lot of you people are coming there because they're saying life as a pivot is making
Yeah.
me feel pitiful. And that's not the case. We're going to make you feel like a hero. No problem. This is what we're going to, because that is where we all can be.
Right.
We all
Definitely.
can be there.
Yeah.
So
And that's the
so
work we
let's
get
get together.
and we get to step into it. So, and we're going to do it together, as you mentioned, and move forward into that. So, we want to invite you to go to and join us at the You Are Worthy Summit by visiting the link that you see on the screen, that's been shared in the comment section. And I'm just going to share this too, that if you all have any questions, you can reach out to me or my team at support@trinaboldenfields.com, and we'll answer your questions about joining us at the summit. And once you sign up and register for the summit, you'll get an opportunity to join VIP. And if you join VIP, we're doing a day of deep dive on your work, what you're here to activate, how you want to show up for the summit, so you have a plan moving forward. So thank you so much, Arthur. Thank you for talking with us about mindset, right? And walking through of setting our direction for us, of practicing forgiveness, keeping our mind clear and calm, and practice a new way of thinking and being, because we get to step into that. And I'm excited for the work that you're going to be putting together and sharing at the You Are Worthy Summit, that's going to help people to create that inner commitment, that's going to create the results that they're looking for. But it's starting with the mindset work, and we'll be walking through that.
Exactly. Hey, and one last thing, if I may, the most important thing is your mind. I know a lot of people saying it's the body, the spirit is connected to the mind, and the body is connected to the mind. There's no way to have a proper line of communication unless we are willing to put our comfort on hold and reach outside to get that inner goal. Yeah,
Mhm.
we know that that's going to be important for what that is from the inside out. But those things, but we realize that only when we have the goal outside that started from the inside. The why, the what, then the how.
Yes, it has to start from the inside. And I think about, what you share. People may think that it's tough to do this work, or it's hard to do this work. I think about how hard it is not to do the work,
That's right.
to stand in your way, and not to have the mindset and the keys and the practice that you need to really activate and stand in your worth. It's harder not to have it than to do the work to have it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That energy we're stepping in an opportunity to totally shift it. And the thing about the You Are Worthy Summit is that there are people who are there that's going to help people along that journey. So you won't be doing it alone. You'll have support. You'll have a process. You'll have a community to join and to step into that.
Yeah, the keys to peace of mind.
Hmm.
We always say we want it,
Hmm.
but it takes work. That's the tough. It's only as hard as going to work and doing something for 40 years or 30 years that you didn't want to do in the first place.
Definitely.
Is only as tough as finishing school and not being able to step into the profession that you paid so much money to have, and to catch up with paying that off, and catching up with maybe not having the job or the prestige as most of your friends might have that took them the same amount of work to have. It is only as hard as going through the first parts of your life feeling bewildered because you hadn't found what connected you and now step into something that really can help you to feel more fulfilled in your life. So these things are, these things can all be simplified,
Mhm.
but we have to be able to step into places like this summit,
Mhm.
like any event, go from event to event, invest in yourself. You are worth the investment. Don't
Yeah.
look at anybody else's success next to you because they have their own demons, their own things that they're working through to help them to stay afloat. How
Yeah.
about you decide not to stay afloat and come with us and see if we can make you fly? How about
Yes, definitely. And it's going to be a beautiful time. So we want to make sure that you know that you are worthy, that you step into this work. So we invite you to join us there at the You Are Worthy Summit by going to youareworthy.live/Arthur. I want to thank you, Arthur, for coming on and doing this interview and talking with us about mindset. And stepping into that and clearing your mind, right? Stepping into the practice, showing up for yourself, because this is the work that we'll do, and you'll do more of this work when you're going to help people create the inner commitments that are going to produce the results they're looking for. But we're starting with that mindset work. So I want to say thank you so much for joining us and being here with us for
it?
the.
I appreciate you for all you're doing. You're putting into these spaces a place for millions and millions in the future to prosper in everything they're about by way of doing this and all the ones that you're putting together. Also, I would be remiss without saying that you want to join us every Tuesday with this young lady who hosts the most empowered, captivating incubation of thought provokers in the nation on Clubhouse. So you definitely want to put that in your space as well, because that'll keep you informed and let you understand that you get to have this as much as every week. But I would say still keep up with a little bit by bit each and every day.
Bit by bit each and every day. Thank you so much, Arthur. And so we want to say to join us at the You Are Worthy Summit by going to youareworthy.live/Arthur. Make sure you have the HTTPS and the colon and the slash before it, because that's how you'll get to that summit. And if those of you who are joining for the Move Beyond Barriers for Drill Summit live here, and you want to register to get email updates, learn more about how you can join VIP to get the lifetime access, you can go to youareworthy.live/Arthur23 to join us there. And we do have VIP with hot seat coaching, as well as a workbook for what we've been talking about on this summit, and more information for you to join us. So make sure you join us at this summit. You can grab the VIP pass. You can also join us at the You Are Worthy live/Arthur to be in live for the You Are Worthy Summit. Arthur, thank you so much for being a part of our It's Time to Move Beyond Barriers virtual summit. I so appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. So everybody, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of our conversation of our summit for the Move Beyond Barrier Summit. And know that you are worthy. Know that we are here to move you forward in life and to put you on the trajectory of living a fulfilled life and activating your worthy dreams, bringing those things that you're here to activate closer to you. So make sure you join us at the summit. You can go to youareworthy.live/Arthur to register for that. Because you are worthy, we're going to be in the room live June 28th through the 30th for this beautiful 3-day summit. You all, that's going to change your life, put you on the path of where you need to be, doing the mindset work, helping you to see the things that you need to see, create the inner commitments that you need to create. And we'll be doing that with community. And so we want to invite you to join us. And I want to say to those of you who are listening, share your aha moments from what author shared with us in the chat. Let us know what stood out to you, or in the comments section. Post that. Let us know what stood out to you. Know that I'll be coming back and checking these comments. What has stood out to you about our day 2? It has been dynamic and beautiful to spend this time with you, to talk about the You Are Worthy Summit, to talk about how you can move beyond barriers, because it's your time. Because it's your time now to do that, and we know that you are worthy. So make sure that you join us tomorrow. We'll be coming back for day 2. I'll be interviewing 4 powerful, dynamic speakers that are going to talk with you about purpose, how you can ignite your story, creating consistency, and ways that you can build resilience. We're going to be doing that tomorrow, day 3, on our day 3 of the Move Beyond Barriers virtual summit. So I want to make sure that you join us there, that you get into the room, and know that you can get your you can join us. Make sure you join us to be able to get reminders about the summit. So register for the Move Beyond Barrier Summit. It's a free summit that you can register for. We'll send the emails of how you can join us. And if you want to get the VIP upgrade, which is $47, you can do that to get lifetime access to this recording, what we've been sharing here live today. We'll be putting that in a place where you can grab those recordings, but also you'll get a workbook and hot seat coaching with me. You'll get a session of hot seat coaching with me. So make sure you grab your registration. Join us for the VIP for additional $47, and we'll help you through the process of moving beyond barriers. And also make sure that you join us for the You Are Worthy Summit in June, where we will help you to know you are worthy and step into a bolder version of you. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in for our day 2. If you're listening to the replay, make sure you hashtag replay so we can know that you're here. We'll be checking in and responding to your messages, and know that we'll be on live tomorrow for day 3 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for another powerful conversation with our speakers on ways you can move beyond barriers. I'll see you tomorrow, you all. Thank you so much for tuning in.